Thank you very much for joining this morning at Bloom at the Yoga Garden. So we're going to begin by lying back and down on our mats. So get yourselves nice and comfortable and check that your head is going towards the top end of your mat, nice long neck, and your chin tucked the tiniest little bit. Shoulders away from your ears, the heel of the right foot at the right edge of the mat, the heel of the left foot at the left edge of the mat. Arms rotated so the backs of the hands are on the floor. And just check that you're comfortable. Maybe allow your head to roll gently from side to side and then come to rest in the middle. And just take a couple of rounds of your breath and notice how you're feeling this morning. Don't be looking for solutions or anything, just literally notice how you're feeling. Do you feel energetic? Do you feel a bit, maybe you're feeling as if you can't wait to get on with your yoga practice. So just acknowledge how you're feeling. So we're still thinking about our breath. And of course we always think about our breath in yoga, but we're really particularly thinking about it for this last couple of weeks. And really just trying to make ourselves more aware of our breath and the importance of our breath in our yoga practice. So we're thinking about the sounds that our breath makes today. And of course, we know that we need our breath. We always breathe. The trouble is we don't always breathe the way we should breathe. So often our breath is shallow and it's not really energizing as the way it should. So our breath is that prana, that vital life force that keeps us going and makes us healthy and happy as well and more relaxed. So very often we get into the habit, just because of the way life is, of not breathing properly. And it becomes even more important in our yoga practice because we need that energy that we get from our breath. And equally, our breath will tell us when maybe we're struggling a little bit in a particular asana. So if your breath becomes ragged or short, you should know to ease off, or I'm saying to you, you should ease off. It means you're working too hard. You need to ease off, get your breath back to a nice even keel, and then you can maybe go a little bit further. So please use your breath as an indicator of how you're feeling in your practice. We really want to do it all the time, but we really are going to make ourselves particularly aware of it today in the practices that we're doing. So just take another couple of rounds of your natural breath. And then just notice, can you hear your breath? So you're not trying to change it in any way at the minute, you're just noticing your natural cycle of breath. And notice, can you hear anything? And maybe when your attention's drawn to it, you do hear a very soft, delicate sound on the inhale and the exhale. So now I'm going to ask you just to make your breath a little louder, if that makes sense. When I say louder, more audible. So without allowing any tension and no forcing, see if you can make your breath a bit more audible. And do you notice, well, to me, mine sounds a bit like the sound of the ocean. Just like the waves in the distance, not when you're actually at the seashore, but just if you're somewhere quite close to the sea, and that distant sound of the waves coming in and going out. So our breath is a bit like the waves in the ocean. And maybe you notice that just by paying that little bit of attention to your breath, that it has already begun to slow down from when you first lay down on your mat. So invite that slowing down of your breath. Still try and keep it a little bit audible. But no forcing, no tension. Check your shoulders haven't crept up round your ears as you do it. And again, just bring yourself back and notice how you're feeling. Has it changed from I first asked you that question? And if it has your breath helped to make that change? And if so, it makes us realize how easily we can change our mood, how we feel mentally and physically. So of course, I have been talking about the ocean, so that's been a big clue. Today we are going to practice the Ujjayi breath, also known as the ocean breath or the victorious breath. The victorious breath, I think, because it's a strengthening breath as well as a calming breath, but I actually like to think of it as the ocean breath. I think that's the nicest description of it. And it does so sound like the ocean coming in and out. So it'll just be a bit more of what we've been doing. So for this, we kind of constrict that little bit at the back of your throat as if you're going to swallow when you stop halfway, and you just constrict the flow slightly in the back of your throat to make that noise. So the easiest way to describe it is on the out breath, as if you're fogging up a mirror, and you go like that. And then I think I mentioned to you before about, I read a good description of it, as if you're fogging up a mirror behind you on the in-breath. So you sort of go, and then of course we seal our lips while we're doing it. So those two were done with an open mouth, but we're going to try and get that same effect, but with our lips sealed very lightly. So don't worry if you don't get it at all. It's one of those things, once you get it, it's very easy, but until you actually get it, it can be a bit of a struggle. So just continue with your own audible breath if you can't get it. So we're going to do 5 rounds of our ocean breath. So we'll all be different. It'll depend on the length of your inhale and exhale. So we'll just do the 5 rounds in our own time. So we'll begin together anyway. So take just an ordinary breath, and then on your next inhale, And when you've completed that practice, just return to your natural breath. So we're going to try and listen to our breath throughout this morning's practice. You don't have to do the Ujjayi breath, but I really just want you to listen to your breath in all the movements we're doing if possible, and I will remind you as much as I can. So we're almost ready to begin. So as always, listen to your own body. Don't do anything that you know is going to hurt you, is going to aggravate any old or new injuries you might have, any sore bits. Please listen to your own body and only do what suits you. If something doesn't suit you, you leave it out. Just watch, take a rest, use a prop, modify it in whatever way you need to so that it's right for you. So when you're ready, have a big stretch, just whatever way your body feels it needs. And then when you've done that, bring your knees into your chest and just a couple of rocks from one side to the other, maybe a couple of wee circles. Nothing too drastic. And then we're going to gently begin to straighten our legs up towards the ceiling. So your legs may not straighten completely. Maybe your legs will never straighten completely. That doesn't really matter, particularly for this. In fact, even keep a wee bend in your legs. And we're going to take our arms up as well. And we're just going to open our toes and our hands, our fingers wide, and squeeze them shut. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Do it a bit quicker. Open and close, open and close, open and close, open and close. And you'll really begin to feel, now it's just your toes, your feet won't actually move, just your toes moving. Opening your toes, closing your toes. Lovely. And then bring yourself back to kind of static here. And stop at any time that you need to, but we're going to do dead bug pose. So now we're going to shake our feet and shake our wrists and our hands as hard as we can. So we're like a dead bug lying on the floor. Keep going, shake really, really hard. Shake as hard as you can. And you'll notice I'm shaking so hard, my voice is shaking as well. And it uses quite a lot of energy. It'll really get you warmed up if you're feeling cold. And you begin to feel a funny sensation in your hands. Keep going, one more, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And stop. And really feel that funny sensation in your hands and your feet. It's sort of a slightly, for me, it's a slightly fuzzy, cotton woolly feeling. One more breath here. Bend your knees and squeeze them in towards your chest. And then we're going to straighten the left leg along the floor. So a nice wee warming up pose. Sure, you should do that in the winter when it's cold more, whatever. Okay, so bring your left hand onto your left thigh. Bring your right hand onto the front of your right knee and just gently begin to encourage that right knee out to the right. So keep pressing into the heel of the left foot and leg. Watch if this left sit bone begins to lift off the mat. If it does, you've gone too far. And again, notice your breath. Try and keep it nice and long and even. Nice even inhales and exhales as you stretch out into the left foot and gently just bring your right knee over to where your limit is. And then gently bring that right knee back to centre. We'll swap sides. Left knee in. Right hand onto the right thigh. Left hand on the top of the left knee. Work really strongly into the right heel and gently, just as far as is right for you, out to the left with the left knee. So keep pressing into the right thigh. Watch if your right hip begins to lift, come back. And this side could be completely different. Don't let your shoulders lift as you do this. Try and keep your shoulders soft as well. And breathe. One more breath here. And gently bring it back to center and straighten it along the floor. And then from here you can either bring your feet in and do a few rock and rolls to get up, or roll over onto your right side and bring yourself up and meet me in Sukhasana, easy cross legs. So sit on your brick or your block or just something to give you a wee bit of a pelvic tilt to get you up a wee bit. Shift the flesh off your sit bones and feel that you're lifting the whole way up from your sit bones right up to the crown of your head, shoulders rolling back and down. And again, notice your breath. Nice long slow inhale and a nice softening exhale, rolling your shoulders back and down. Lovely. And then from here we're just going to bring our shoulders up and roll them down. Inhale up and exhale down. Really see if you can bring your shoulders right the whole way up. It feels really good. I don't think there's a single person not carrying tension in their shoulders. And then we'll do one more. Inhale up. Ooh, feels really good to me. And then we're going to cross the right arm over the left. See if you can take hold of your shoulder blades to give yourself a really good stretch. And then you're going to inhale, lift your elbows up to the ceiling. So you're almost hollowing out your spine as you do this, chin up. And exhale, round your spine, navel back towards your spine, chin down and elbows down. Inhale, up. Really hollow out your back this time, so almost at your cow pose, and exhale. Round your spine. And inhale just back to neutral. Swap arms. So different arm on top or different elbow on top. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale, round. Navel back towards your spine into your kind of a cat. Inhale. Up and exhale. And then release. Inhale back to center. Release your arms. Maybe give them another wee wriggle. And now we're going to clasp our hands in front and press your hands away. So really pressing the palms of your hands away from you, shoulders rolling back and down. And then inhale, bring your arms up overhead. And again, you're bringing your heart center through a little bit, hollowing out your spine, chin up slightly. And then exhale, round your spine, navel back towards your spine into your cat pose. Inhale, bring your heart center through. Notice your breath. If you're holding it at all, keep breathing. And exhale, round your spine and bring it through. And then we're going to take the right hand onto the left knee. Inhale up with the left hand and hinge over to the right. So don't let your left knee lift, but really reach into the left fingertips. And exhale back, swap sides. Left hand onto right knee, right arm up. Reach up. Keep reaching into the fingertips. Feel that stretch all down the right side. Breathe. Inhale, reach. And exhale, bring yourself back down again. So from here, we're just going to roll forward and meet me in tabletop. So knees are below your hips, wrists are below your shoulders, and your fingers are really well spread. So you're actively pressing the floor away. We're not kind of collapsing down onto the tops of our shoulders. We're actively pressing the floor away. 2 really strong arms. And our knees and feet are hip width apart. Did I say that already? Maybe I did. And we're going to do smiley faces with our bottom, okay? So take a big inhale and sweep your bottom up to the right and then down along towards your heels and up and then back again. So we're going to do, we'll do 3 of these and then we'll start with the other side, if that makes sense. So you really should feel it all round the lower back and bringing yourself forward. So come back to your neutral tabletop again, and we're going to go left this time. So hips to the left first, up towards the left hand, and then down, and up to the right hand, and just, it's quite a nice sort of a sinuous movement. And then bring yourself back to your neutral position. So now we're going to, again, check the base of your pose. This is going to be important now. And we're going to reach back with the right foot and leg. So you want your right foot just in line with your hip and the toes pointing down. And press the floor away. And this is actually going to be a bit of core work we're doing. So this is, I was reading an article and it says this is one of the best things you can do for your core. Forget about sit-ups and all those other horrible things that I hate. This apparently is one of the best ways of strengthening your core, because we're inclined to think of our core just being these muscles at the front, but there's all these muscles that come right round our ribs. There's umpteen of them, okay? So maybe this is where you're going to be today. Watch you're not collapsing into the right arm or the left arm. No, you're not going to be collapsing into the left arm because now we're going to lift it. But if you need to, keep the left hand down. Reach forwards if you're going to shake hands with somebody with this left hand and arm. So keep reaching forward with the left hand, reaching back with the right heel. Head and neck just in a nice line with your spine. Navel back towards your spine, pressing the floor away with your right hand. And breathe. Notice your breath. Is it short? If your breath is short, if you're taking these short breaths, see if you can lengthen it. You need energy for this pose. That's it. Breathe. Reach into the left fingertips. Reach into the right heel. Try and keep the right heel lifted. Lift your left arm a little bit. Keep reaching. Keep breathing. Feel the heat. Are you getting hot? Are you getting warmer? And breathe. Nice long inhales. Nice long exhales. Maybe you dry a breath, maybe not. One more breath here. And bring your hand down and your right knee down. Everybody feeling good? Yes. Other side. Reach back with the left foot and leg. So you're pressing strongly into the top of the right foot to help you. Try and keep it level with your hip, toes pointing down. Stay here. Or reach forward to shake with your right hand this time. And reach. Keep reaching into the right fingertips. Pressing into the left hand. Adjust your stance if you're not stable. My left hand had crept forward there and it wasn't really stable at all for me. Keep reaching forward, pressing into the back heel. Both heels are back, the left heel. Looking forward, smile, long inhale, long exhale. You can do it, you're strong. Reaching forward, lift your right arm up, lift your left leg a little bit. Smile, say this is fabulous. Think how strong your core is going to be. One more breath. And gently bring your right hand down, your left knee down. Take your knees out wide, big toes to touch. Sit your bottom back and down. And stretch your arms out along your mat. Forehead down or lower arms across. Rest your forehead on your lower arms. So you breathe into your back body, getting length. Exhale into the front body, softening and releasing. So we really weren't doing an awful lot there, but hopefully you find it fairly strong. If you were really doing it, you'll find that quite strong. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. And then begin to walk your hands back. Bring your knees in and meet me in high kneeling. So we're just going to do a couple of rounds of mini Surya Namaskar, just for a wee breather in between the hard work, okay? So bring your hands together at your heart center. Take an inhale and exhale. So this is where I really want you to notice your breath when we're doing this, and really try and change your breath, or let your breath lead the different parts of this, okay? So when you're ready, inhale, bring your arms up into the tiniest little bit of a back bend. Exhale, fold forward and down into child's pose. Inhale into tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes under, down dog with bent legs. So inhale into tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale into your high kneeling. Slight back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Okay, so we're going to do 2 more of those. So we'll maybe do it a tiny wee bit quicker than we did that time. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes, down dog, bent legs. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, your back bent, high kneeling. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes, down dog. Knees bent, and this time we're just going to straighten our legs one at a time when we're here. Just a wee prep for our actual down dog when we come to do it. Inhale into tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Lovely, well done. So we're going to come back into tabletop now, excuse me, and have your knees hip width apart, knees below your hips, wrists below your shoulders, and you're going to press the floor away very actively, and we're going to do 8 limb pose and come into cobra, okay? So this is chin, chest, chin to the floor. So we have 8 limbs on the floor, 2 hands, 2 knees, 2 feet, or chest and chin, I can't remember, I've lost count. 8 limb pose, okay? So the main thing you want to remember about this is we're not taking our elbows out to the sides, our elbows are coming back down towards our waist. So take a big inhale here and exhale, elbows back, chin, chest to the floor, bottom up in the air, elbows going back, slither through into cobra and exhale down. So we're going to do another cobra. So press into the tops of your feet, elbows rolling back down towards your hips. Take a big inhale, so you're going to rest on your pubic bone and the soft part of your tummy. Inhale, lift up, and try and use the muscles in your back rather than your hands. And exhale down. We'll do one more. Press into the tops of your feet. And this is one of the poses where you do notice your breath much more because it's harder to breathe here. So we're breathing in the upper chest. And when you're ready, inhale, lift up, exhale, take a breath here, lift up a bit more, elbows in, shoulders away from your ears, and exhale, release. Bring your right cheek onto the floor, arms down by your sides, and big toes to touch. And now we're going to do Salabhasana just while we're here. So we'll start off with a version of Salabhasana. So bring your hands back behind you. So clasp your hands at your bottom, shoulders, use that to draw your shoulders down. So your forehead will be in the floor, then mine's up because I'm talking. Okay, so keep drawing your knuckles down towards your heels. And then take a big inhale, press into everything else that's on the floor. And we're going to lift our head, neck and shoulders off the floor, okay? So keep drawing your hands down towards your heels, lift up, use the muscles in your back, lift up, one big inhale here, and exhale, release. Other cheek onto the floor, other chin. I know I have several chins, but it did mean cheek. And big toes to touch. So we're going to do full Salabhasana next if you want to. If you don't want to do full Salabhasana, you can just repeat what we've done or do Cobra, or maybe you'll just do the legs. So if you want to just do the legs, you can take your hands, make fists, or take your hands in underneath the tops of your thighs and use that to help you to lift your legs off the floor. So you reach into your heels and reach away the way we were doing earlier. But having your hands there just makes it so much easier. And for that matter, I suppose you could lift the front body as well as you do that if you want to. It's hard that way. Okay, so if you just want to do the feet, that's what you do. If you want to do the whole pose, again, you can clasp your hands, or you can just have your hands down by your sides. And we're going to reach away with the left foot, reach away with the right foot. And we're going to lift our head, nose, chin, chest and legs off the floor. Okay, so your choice whether your hands are clasped or by your sides. So start with your forehead on the floor and come up on an inhale. And keep breathing. Notice your breath. Notice the sound it makes. Reaching up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Reach into your toes. One more, lift. And exhale. Release your hands. Let everything go. Cheek to the floor. Rock your hips from side to side. Couple more breaths here, and notice your breath. Is it still nice and long? Did you find that strong? And then bring your hands down either side of your body and bring yourself back up. Tuck your toes under and bring yourself into our first down dog. And just walk your dog, straighten one leg at a time. And then when you've done it about 4 times on each side, lift your sit bones up, shoulders away from your ears, and come into your static dog. So down dog is an inversion. You're getting lots of blood, oxygen running to your head, which is good for anti-aging, but it's also really good for your head, good for releasing tension. So lift your navel back towards your spine, lift your sit bones up, lift your kneecaps, big muscles in the legs, legs rolling in towards each other, arm bones rolling out away from each other. Pressing strongly into the base of the index finger and thumb. Shake your head is loose and relaxed, just getting lots of blood and oxygen there. Keep a wee bend in your knees if you need to. You don't ever have to straighten your legs if you don't want to. And breathe, pressing the floor away. Don't let the weight come forward. And then from here, we're going to come up onto our tiptoes and roll forward into plank. So if you need to, bring your knees to the floor. But bring your shoulders over your wrists before you do that. Pressing the floor away. You're sort of doming the back body, sucking everything from the front body up into the back body. Pressing into the heels. Don't try to take all the weight on your hands and arms. Share it between your legs and your hands. And breathe. And smile. And say, I feel good, I feel strong. And if you do, maybe you lift your right leg off the floor, 3-legged or 1-legged plank, and drop it down. Other side, left leg up, pressing the floor away, and down. One more each side. Right leg up, and down. Lovely, left leg up and down. And then from here, we're all going to drop our knees onto the floor. Sit back onto your heels. Or if you want to, you can sit back on your toes. Or stay in high kneeling if that isn't good for your knees. And we're just going to reach your arms out, clasp your wrists, and we'll do a few wee circles with our wrists and tell them we love them. And we know they were finding that strong. And then give your lower arms a wee massage. I remember it used to be when you had a manicure, they massaged your lower arms, and I remember the girl massaging my lower arms. My elbow was here, and she just massaged my arm. It was blissful. It does quite well doing it for yourself too. So really get your thumbs in there and really work into those muscles in the lower arms. Just giving yourself that little bit of TLC that you need. Lovely. And then from here, we're all set to go. Bring your hands forward, tuck your toes under, and bring yourself back up into downward facing dog. So fingers are well spread, pressing strongly into the base of the index finger and thumb. Give your dog a wee walk, lift your sit bones up, shoulders away from your ears. And take a big inhale. And exhale, let something go. Lifting up. Don't let the weight come forward. Shoulders away from your ears. Kneecaps lifted. One more breath here. Then take the weight onto your left foot and leg. Lift your right leg up. And exhale.
Bring your right elbow into your chest. Squeeze it in. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, right knee to chest. Come onto the toes of the back foot, look forward and step your right foot through, left knee to the floor. So keep your toes tucked, or, well, you can let them go if you want to, but you'll see why I want you to keep your toes tucked. So front knee and ankle in line. Get your balance, press your hands into your knee if you need to lift up and reach up into your low lunge. So keep reaching up, shoulders away from your ears. Maybe look up between your hands. Press strongly into the front foot, pressing into the back foot, whether your toes are up or not. So stay here, or if you want to go a bit further, inhale, left knee off the floor, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, don't lose your lunge when you come up. Exhale down, one more. Inhale up, exhale down, plant the left knee, frame the front foot with your hands, press into the toes of the back foot and step back into downward dog. Wee quick walk, take the weight onto your right foot and leg, left leg up. Left knee into your chest. Inhale back, left knee in, come onto the toes of the right foot, step your left foot forward, right knee to the floor, keep the toes tucked or away, inhale, reach up. So keep your hands on your left thigh if you need to. In fact, you could even do this bit. Well, you could. Your choice. Maybe make it more tricky. Reaching up into your fingertips, shoulders rolling back and down, lifting up. Notice your breath. Are you still taking nice long inhales and exhales? Press into the front foot, press into the toes of the back foot. Then inhale, right knee off the floor and down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more, you're doing a great job. Inhale up, exhale down. Frame the front foot with your hands. Tuck the toes of the back foot under and bring yourself back into downward facing dog. And take your breather here, or knees down, toes touch, and come into extended child. So your choice where you take your little breather. So if you're in down dog, lift your sit bones up, thighs rolling towards each other, outer arm bones or upper arm bones rolling away from each other, pressing strongly into the base of the index finger and thumb and pads of all the fingers. One more breath. So we're all going to make our way to standing. So if you're in child's pose, walk your hands back, tuck your toes under and walk your hands towards your feet. And here we're just going to make our way towards the front of the mat, whatever way suits you. Or when I say the front of the mat, feet towards your hands. Meet me with your feet hip width apart and knees bent deeply, Uttanasana. So take hold of your elbows and use the weight of your elbows and your head to stretch out that back body. Maybe we rock from side to side, stretching one side and then the other. Crown of the head coming down towards the floor. So use this little shelf here to rest your chest on. And listen to your breath. And then press strongly into all four corners of your feet. And inhale into your flat back. So hands to shins or to thighs, drawing your heart center through. Big inhale here. And exhale, fold a little deeper. And then from here, I'm going to press strongly into your feet. And bring yourself up into Tadasana with your feet hip width apart. So shoulders rolling back and down, arms away from the sides of your body. And breathe. Lovely, well done. So now we're going to do Virakasana, tree pose. But we're going to challenge our balance a little bit first before we do that. So it's almost like we're checking to see what our balance is like today before we do it. So tell yourself I'm taking the weight onto my left foot and leg. So check that your left foot is lovely and wide and broad for your base. And just begin to lift your right foot off the floor. Keep the toes on for as long as you need to. Maybe bring your hands to your hips. Maybe bring your hands to your heart center. And then maybe you'll lift it up. One-legged Tadasana. So we'll keep, if it was one-legged Tadasana, maybe we should have our hands down by our sides. So just notice how that feels. Because it'll actually be a wee indication of what your balance is like today. And some days your balance is better than others. But we want to make sure that our balance stays good. So that when we get really old, we're not going to fall over and break things. So we're going to be strong, and that, our muscles will help to stop us breaking things, but we're going to have good balance so we won't fall over. So see how it feels, challenge yourself. Try and do it a wee while longer if you need to, and then maybe you'll take your tree here and see what that feels like. And then bring your hands down. Now, if this feels okay, we're going to rotate this right hip, and maybe you'll take your toes to the floor and bring your heel in towards just above your ankle. Maybe you'll bring your foot to your calf. Maybe you'll do the full posture by bringing your foot up as high as you can. And if you do that, you need to press your foot into your thigh and your thigh into your foot. Hands to your heart center. And breathe. And maybe take your branches. And try and have your drishti at eye level. So you're not really looking at anything. Whoops, wobbling's good. One more big inhale here. Bring your hands down and gently release your foot. So, other side, exactly the same thing. So, really spread the toes, spread your right foot this time, and reduce contact with your left foot. And of course, go to the wall if you need to. Sometimes just knowing the wall's there is enough to make your balance fine. And same thing again, lift the left foot up. So strong right foot and leg. One-legged Tadasana to start off with. And breathe. I think sometimes we're afraid to breathe when we're in balancing poses because it sort of will knock us off a wee bit. And then if you want to, take your branches. Shoulders rolling down. Good challenge. You can do this anytime, practice. And of course, if you work top or a chair handy, feel free to take hold of it. And if this is okay, drop your hands down. So you're going to bring your tree pose to just above the right ankle.
the right calf, anywhere but the knee. No, do not put your foot in the knee. And maybe bring it the whole way up. I need to not look at the screen while I do this. And maybe take your branches. Pressing your foot into your thigh and your thigh into your foot. And smile and breathe and say, isn't this fabulous that I can do this, or even attempt to do it. One more, whoops, big inhale here, nearly way there. But this is what we want. We want to be able to regain our balance. And it doesn't matter if you come out of it, just come into it again. And then gently bring your hands back to your heart center. Gently release your foot. And from here, we're going to make our way down onto our mat. So we've really only one more wee thing I want to do. So we're winding down. All the hard work's done. So bring your feet out in front of you. So have your knees bent as deeply as you want, and you can have them as wide as you want as well. So we're going to do Paschimottanasana, which is the one where you see people legs out straight and their head down on their shins, more or less. But that's what you see. It's not real life. So again, use your brick or your block if you want to sit on, and it gives you that wee bit of a pelvic tilt, which gives you a wee starter. And have a bolster handy if you want to. So we're starting off with our knees bent quite deeply. So it's up to you. You know where you are in this. So you can press into your hands and sort of lift your heart center up a little bit if you like, because we want to lead with our heart center. We don't want to lead with our head, because if you lead with your head, you're kind of closing off the front of the body. So we want to keep a nice long front body, which will give us a nice long back body. Okay, so we're going to swing our arms up. Take a big inhale, and I want you to imagine you're draping, trying to make contact, just the way we do in a standing forward fold. Bring your chest onto your thighs. So don't be in a hurry to get your head down. Keep your arms up as long as you can. So when you think you can't go any further, take a big inhale. And exhale, soften into it, and then drop your hands down to wherever, your calves, your ankles, your shins, maybe your feet. If you can reach your feet, take your elbows out, east to west, side to side. And then just see how this feels. And maybe you think, oh, I could straighten my legs a little bit, and if you want to, do so, but again, nobody's saying you ever have to have your legs completely straight in this posture. So keep inhaling to get length, exhaling to soften. And then just maybe straighten your legs a little bit more, but maybe not. We all have this stylized view of what posture should look like. But there's no reason why you should ever have to straighten your legs completely. But let your breath guide you. So forward folds are delicious. So you want to take your time and enjoy them. You don't want to be rushing into them. That's how you might hurt yourself. So you stop when you know you've got to your edge. You need to stop. No ego talking, nothing. And of course you can put a bolster on your knees, put something here if you can't get your head down. And again, that helps to keep your back a bit flatter without curling in too much. So use whatever props, modify it in whatever way you need to make it work for you. And you can point your toes away if that's easier.
and breathe. So use the inhale for the lengthening and the exhale for softening. And listen to your breath. Don't let it get laboured. And now tell yourself, I'm coming out of this posture. And just as slowly as we went into it, begin to unroll, unwind. Walk your hands up your legs or up the floor. And nice and gently bring yourself back up into an upright position. Lovely. And then from here, we're just going to unroll down onto your mat. Try and get these muscles working again. And then we're just going to step the right foot across at the left shin. Take your arms out either side. So the left foot at the minute is on the floor, the right foot at the minute is on the floor, and then you're just going to roll over towards the left. So the right hip will lift, you come onto the inside edge of the right foot, probably onto the outside edge of the left foot. And if you know neck issues, turn your head and look right. Nestle the right shoulder down onto the floor. And breathe. One more breath here. And gently roll back. And then swap sides. So straighten your right leg, left leg in, step it across. Just at the outside of the right shin, left foot on the floor to start off with, and then roll onto the right side. And nestle your left shoulder down in, head to the left if you have no neck issues. And again, follow your breath, listen to your breath, enjoy your breath. One more here. Roll back the way you went in. Undo that cross of the left leg. Straighten your legs out or keep them bent if you prefer. Tuck your shoulders under. Arms rotated so the backs of the hands are on the floor. Stretch the back of the head up towards the end of the mat into Shavasana. So put on any extra layers you need to keep yourself warm for the next few minutes. Use any props and blankets that you need. Eye pillows, bolsters, blocks, anything that you have that's going to make you comfortable so that you can lie completely still for the next 10 minutes or so. And again, as always, the first thing we want to do is to notice our breath. And invite your breath to just slow down.
So you don't have to do anything particular. Just follow it and see if you can encourage it to slow down a little bit. And then in your next inhale, take a really long, slow, deep, delicate inhale. Feel that you're drawing the air right down into the root chakra, filling your whole body right up to the very crown of your head. Pause very briefly there. Open your mouth wide and just go. And see if you can follow it the whole way as it leaves your body. So we'll do one more of those. Inhale. Feel you're filling every single corner of your lungs right up to the top, right up to the crown of your head. Pause briefly, open your mouth wide, and then just return to your natural breath. And again, ask that same question that we did at the beginning. How do you feel? How do you feel physically? How do you feel emotionally? Do you feel relaxed? Do you wish I would hurry up and get it all over with? So no criticism, no judgment, just notice. And now we'll do just a quick scan and see if we can release anywhere a little bit more. The toes, the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, the heels, the ankles, the shins, the calves, the kneecaps, the backs of the knees, the thighs, the backs of the thighs, the points of the hip, the buttocks, the abdomen, all the internal organs completely relaxed. The back ribs, the spine, the waist, the front ribs, the heart center, the collarbones moving slightly apart, the tops of the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the inner eye of your elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, the backs of the hands, palms of the hands, all the fingers completely relaxed, letting go. The sides of the neck, the jaw, the hinge of the jaw, the lips touching lightly, little smile hovering, the tongue resting in the floor of the mouth, the cheekbones, all the little muscles around the eyes softening, releasing, the eyelids barely touching, the eyes sinking down into deep, dark, comforting pools, the eyebrow center, the eyebrows, the forehead, the scalp, the skull, crown of the head. Every single part of your body is completely relaxed, softening, releasing, letting go. Excuse me. And now I imagine softness at the crown of your head. It's like a cloud, a lovely white fluffy cloud. And it's beginning to sink through the crown of your head and moving down through your body. And with it, this cloud is bringing a sense of peace and calm, restfulness. It's moving its way down through the sides of the neck, through the arms, to the hands. And you're feeling that nice, sort of soft, fuzzy feeling in your hands, moving down through your torso, down through the legs, to the feet. And again, you can feel that cloud at the soles of your feet, in the palms of your hand, that lightness, that peace, that calm, that softness, that everything is just as it should be. You are completely surrounded in this wonderful, soft, fluffy, calming, comforting cloud. And then you notice that with each inhale, that cloud that is surrounding you is beginning to support you and lift you just off your mat. So it's as if you're hovering off your mat, completely engulfed in this soft, fluffy cloud. And you can feel the sensation of the cloud in the palms of your hands and in the soles of your feet. You can feel the warmth, the peace, the calm, the softness. As with each inhale, you lift up a little bit more, and with each exhale, you feel the softness, comforting, calming. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, softening. Inhaling, floating among the clouds, in among the clear blue sky. Exhaling, softening, releasing, knowing everything is okay. And you just allow yourself to drift among these clouds, allowing the sense of peace and calm to wash over you. And let everything be just as it should be. Noise has taken you away from the essential. Let silence bring you back. Learn the language of the silent place. Let stillness cover you. Let the incessant ranting of critical voices inside you have their last words and tuck them into bed. Let calmness envelop you. Silence anything other than the divine grace that made you and continues to flow through you, even now, and now, and now. Just as the audience becomes quiet when the auditorium lights dim, let distractions silence themselves. Bring your presence to the unfolding now and allow the curtain of your life to rise, to reveal more than you ever thought was possible. So very gently allow yourself to float down and be aware of the contact points of your body with the mat. So that poem was from 108 Blissful Words from the Heart of Yoga by Zach Beach. And now bring your awareness back to the present moment, the time and place of day. Begin to breathe more deeply. Wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes. Have a stretch in whatever way you feel you need to. And when you're ready, bring your hands together at your heart center, rub them nice and briskly together. Place your right hand on your heart, your left hand on your tummy. And just allow the heat of your hands to seal in your practice this morning. And allow the heat of your hands to seep into your body. Then gently release your hands. Bring your right knee into your chest, your left knee into your chest. And begin to rock gently from side to side. And when you're ready, take the rock right over onto the right side of your body. Press into your left hand. And bring yourself up and meet me in any comfortable seated position. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. And use your thumbs to lift your heart center up. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, bow your head down towards your hands and feel a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Thank you so much for joining me for this yoga class this morning, everyone. I really appreciate your company and thank you so much for taking the time to join me. May friendships and fond memories fill your heart with enough love to share. And may your light shine and inspire others in the light of something beautiful. Namaste.